Hi, this is Lori Swenson, and I'm representing Group 2, Ben, Eric, Leard, myself, and Lisa, and we are going to discuss the Cola Wars. So we want to start out with the profitability of the carbonated soft drink industry. There has been intense competition between two main players. These are Coca-Cola and Pepsi. And they have elevated the carbonated soft drinks over other possible substitutions, which could include juice, coffee, tea, or milk. Because of this severe competition, there's been increased visibility of these brands, increased consumption, and they're also associated with a higher level of lifestyle, particularly seen through the international markets. They've been profitable because of low cost of raw materials and manufacturing. There's low cost to produce the base compound, easy of preservation and storage, and very low cost for transportation. To further look at profitability, we really look at 4 different players, concentrate producers. These are the Coca-Cola Company and Pepsi-Cola Company, the bottlers, retailers, and material suppliers to both the concentrate producers and to the bottlers. So looking at the 5-force model, threats to entry, it's important to note concentrate producers, it's very low. Bottlers also low, retailers high, and suppliers are high. So you can kind of look through these on your own. Pretty much you can see over here in the left column that the concentrate producers, very low threats to entry, power of buyers is low, power of suppliers is low, low threats of substitution, and there's an intense rivalry. So overall, that makes this a very profitable industry looking at Porter's 5-force model for the concentrate producers. Further looking at the economics of this, again looking at the concentrate producers, there's low threat of new entry, there's low power for the buyers, there's low power of suppliers, essentially the ingredients are commodities available globally. There's low threats of substitution. These are very well-known brands with extensive distribution systems. And there's a rivalry, somewhat constrained competition since there are proprietary recipes that are low cost to produce and difficult to replicate. Now let's look at the economics of the bottling business. Again, there's low threats of new entry. Power of buyers is higher because there are many outlets for the bottlers to sell their wares. Power of suppliers is variable. Threats of substitution is historically low, but the trend is increasing for the threat of substitution as customer tastes are changing to perceived healthier non-carbonated alternatives. We're all familiar with these, the sports drinks, flavored teas, fruit and vegetable drinks, etc. And the intensity of rivalry, again, is low. There are many bottling plants. However, they're generally contractually prohibited from selling outside of their exclusive area or from selling rival brands. So the rivalry is low. If you look at the overall industry profits, there's been a long-standing rivalry built in the consumer soft drink industry. There's amazing brand recognition, and the market share of carbonated soft drinks looking from 1970 to 2009 has increased significantly, with the peak share of the market at 75.5% in 2000. Again, looking 1975 to mid-1990s, both of the major producers have had an annual revenue growth of 10%. As the net profit as a percent of sales for both companies has grown, nearly identical for both companies, around 10.5%. Consumption, possibly due to visibility, has also increased on an average of 3% per year. They're the most highly consumed beverages. Pricing contracts are generally mimicked, so it's difficult to get a better contract than someone else. And the overall effects have been increased availability for the consumer at many different outlets, many different flavor choices, and declining retail prices as far as the competition goes. In the late 80s, products was generally $10.79 per case, and in 2009, $7.98 per case. So if we look long-term at the sustainability of Coke and Pepsi in the beverage market, we mainly look at three things to sustain their competitive edge. They need to work more on vertical integration. The companies are already starting to do this, own their own bottling and distribution networks. This will help to reduce costs. It will allow them to capture more market shares from potential substitutes and competition, and allow more aggressive pricing. Additionally, there's international developing markets. These soft drinks are associated with a premium lifestyle internationally, and so are well accepted. This leads to new revenue streams. And lastly, the big producers need to adapt to more current tastes. Of course, Coke and Pepsi will likely always be popular, but there's also increased demand for non-carbonated soft drink products such as bottled water, fruit juices, and other non-soda beverages. And they'll want to capture existing distribution and contract markets with their new products to maintain that competitive edge. Thank you for your time.